Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another video. These are battles that I did, and I am using Double Dragon, Empoleon Double Dragon. Now this is a team I actually hit Legend with in Season 6, all the way back in Season 6. That was before XLs were even a thing. So, of course it was better back then because now you have all these XL Pokemon. Pokemon are just tankier, right? They're stronger. So this team, not as good as it once was, but if you're looking for a strong non-XL team, I think this team can work well. And yeah, I mean, it does well, especially since Charm is nerfed. You're not going to see as many Charm users or as many double Charm users. You'll still see them, don't get me wrong, but it did work for me. And I think this team could work in the Open Ultra League. I'm playing in the Ultra Premier as well. But either way, we did go ahead and shield that Earthquake. That is good for me. I'm going to go ahead and catch the next attack. And this is going to be an Earthquake, but look how much damage it still does. Shadow Dragonite is so squishy. And in comes Charizard. My opponent will be able to make the Dragon Claw onto my Dragonite. Do I decide to shield? Do I let it go? I do let it go. Dragon Claw is going to KO me, of course, but we do have that Empoleon that I can bring in. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in Empoleon. I want to throw before my opponent gets to an attack, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And Hydro Cannon is going to be enough to KO. I love Kingdra and Empoleon, especially with the Charizard meta. We see Charizard all the time, right? Swampert coming in, but they actually go down. They can't make it to an attack. My opponent cannot make it to an attack, so they give me that farm, which is really nice. Venusaur coming in, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Drill Peck into it. Super effective damage, and now I'll switch into Kingdra, and I do have a shield, plus Kingdra can take a Frenzy Plant, so I'm going to go ahead and shield the first one. We just basically need to get to this Outrage. My opponent will be able to make it to another Frenzy Plant. Actually no, never mind, I think that was a CMP type. They're not able to make it, and I do get off this Outrage. That is going to KO, and that's going to be a great game, very well played to my opponent, and we're going to be able to take that one. So GG's. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Empoleon into Dragalge. Okay, so we do resist every move that Dragalge has, but it's still not a great matchup. I mean, my opponent's also resisting the moves as well, but I'm staying in here. I probably should have switched out immediately, but that is okay. I do go ahead and throw the Drill Peck, and my opponent is continuing to farm up. My opponent will go ahead and throw. I do expect the Outrage because Outrage will still do a lot even though I resist it, and it is an Outrage. I'm going to switch into Kingdra now, trying to farm down. My opponent will switch into Tentacruel, but I do double resist the Scald, right? And if they have Acid Spray, of course, I'm not going to be taking too much damage from Acid Spray, but I guess the Acid Spray as well as the Poison Jab damage will add up. My opponent going to go ahead and throw an attack. I'm going to let it go, thinking it's going to be an Acid Spray, but they actually have Blizzard, so that's going to KO me, taking neutral damage from Blizzard. Very cool to see. Now, I do want to farm down. I saw that they have Blizzard, and I'm assuming that my opponent also has Scald. Even Scald is resisted. Still do a decent amount of damage, but I'm going to be able to take it. Unfortunately, I get that attack debuff, but I'm going to be able to farm down. Let's see what my opponent brings in. It's going to be that Dragalge. I do go ahead and throw the Drill Peck, but thanks to being debuffed, this is not going to be enough to KO. I do get off another one, but as I said, it's barely not enough to KO because of that debuff, and my opponent will be able to get off a move. Really, really unfortunate. Now, at this point, I was thinking there was a Fire type in the back. I was thinking Charizard. It's actually Machamp, so I was totally wrong. So this is fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield, knowing quite well that it's going to be a Crush Chop, but I'm going to go ahead and shield anyway. And I'm not even going to throw an attack. I'm just going to be able to farm down and take that game. And that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. So really well done by them, but we're going to be able to win that one. And let's move on to the next one, Empoleon into Dragonite. Okay, so because Dragonite has Superpower now, this is kind of tough. The safe swap is Kingdra. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Kingdra. My opponent takes a lot of energy and then brings in the Charm User. I'm surprised they didn't switch in that Charm User immediately, but I guess they wanted to get fun with the Dragonite. And then, they're still going to be able to beat my Kingdra anyway, right? But the Dragonite did take a lot of damage. I do go ahead and bring in my Empoleon. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the aggressive farm down. I'm going to be able to take this Psyshock. So yep, going to be able to take it. And I want to farm down. I want to farm down before they make it to another attack. Will my opponent make it to an attack? No, they will not make it to an attack. All of that energy. I'm looking at the top right corner to see what is going to come in. Will it be that Dragonite? Yes, it will. I click on the move immediately. I know I lose CMP, but that is okay. I'm going to be able to shield this and get off my Drill Peck. I do have back-to-back Drill Pecks. Will my opponent decide to shield this? Will they let this one go? My opponent is going to go ahead and shield. I do get off another Drill Peck, though. And this drill peck is going to pick up the second shield. So now I'm going to switch into my Dragonite and farm all the way down before they get to a Dragon Claw. That is huge. In comes a Typhlosion, so a fire type. We are resisting Incinerate. I'm going to be able to close out this game with Dragonite. So Dragon Claw going to connect and going to just throw another one. Could have farmed down as well. I still had a shield, but that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent, and I'm going to be able to take that one. So good game. GG's, really well played. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the next one. Empoleon into aurorus. Okay, so picking up a pretty good lead, actually a really good lead here. My opponent is going to go ahead and switch into kommo-o, so I make a mistake in going to Kingdra. I should have went into Dragonite. That was definitely a mistake on my end. Yeah, because Kingdra just has a better matchup generally if they have, like, against the aurorus, right? Dragonite wants no part of aurorus. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this Octazooka before they get off another attack. And my opponent will go ahead and shield. Now I'm going to go ahead and shield as well. We do get that attack drop, which is nice. I'm going to be able to win this matchup. It does cost me a shield, but that is okay. I'm going to be able to farm that all the way down. So my opponent is going to bring in the aurorus. I want to get to this Octazooka, and I am able to get to the Octazooka. So this Octazooka coming out. Super effective damage, no shield. I didn't think they would shield because they know I have Empoleon. So my opponent will farm down. I do bring in the Empoleon. Out comes maNTINE. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing has Ice Beam. This thing has Ice Beam, so my opponent will throw an attack. Ice Beam obviously KOs. I'm hoping they don't have Ice Beam. Please have Aerial Ace. No, it's Ice Beam. It's going to KO my Dragonite. So I bring in Empoleon. Obviously, Kingdra against the maNTINE would have been better. So we had the Kingdra instead of the the Dragonite. If we brought in the Dragonite earlier, it would have been better for us. But that's okay. Hindsight is 2020. My opponent just gonna spam the bubble beams because but look at my damage. Really not doing too much at all. My opponent is not doing much either, but I also know they have an attack with the aurorus. So I was trying to think how I could win this. I was trying to be careful, waiting for a possible switch so I could throw the Hydro Cannon into the aurorus before they get off immediate beam. My opponent will go ahead and throw an attack. Bubble Beam's just going to continuously debuff me, which is really, really bad for me. Yeah, and keeping in mind, I'm keeping in mind that possible switch. My opponent, I don't think I throw the water gun right away. Yeah, you see, I wait a little bit, seeing if they want to switch, so I can click on the Hydro Cannon immediately. And I think that's going to cost me because now my opponent can throw an Ice Beam. And yeah, they're going to take that. So I was trying to think of a way of how to pull it off. I was, overthinking it, I guess. Good game to my opponent. Well played. Let's go ahead and move into the next one. It's going to be Empoleon into Umbreon. Super tanky Pokemon. I'm just going to save swap into Kingdra. Lure out a possible Charm User if they have it. And my opponent is not switching out into a Charm User, which tells me they don't have one, which is good. So Foul Play is going to connect. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the Octazooka right now. Before they get off another attack, we want to go for a debuff here. Let's see if my opponent is debuffed. They are debuffed. Very nice. My opponent will switch into Swampert. Okay, well, I know they can't go for Hydro Cannon because we double resisted. I'm going to go ahead and just go for the Octazooka right now. My opponent not going to go ahead and shield. We do get that debuff, which is nice. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be an Earthquake. That's a Shadow. I wasn't sure if I would live it. I was thinking I wouldn't live it, and I don't. So it's totally fine. Now, I'm going to bring in Empoleon now. Maybe a mistake because they do reach a Hydro Cannon. Maybe the Dragonite so I could farm down. Let me know which one you would have brought in. But either way, I know it's just a Hydro Cannon, and I know they're double debuffed. In comes Empoleon. My opponent going to be able to throw an attack with that Empoleon right now. I'm just saving my shields for the Dragonite, relying on Dragonite, because keep in mind, they didn't have a direct answer to Kingdra, right? And Kingdra's a Dragon type. If they didn't have a direct answer to Kingdra, chances are they don't have a direct answer to Dragonite because it's also a Dragon type. So I'm not expecting an Ice type. I'm not expecting... I wasn't expecting... certainly wasn't expecting a Fairy type, and it's actually Talonflame. Could have been Charizard. I always think Charizard, but it wasn't Charizard. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Dragon Claw. My opponent is going to be able to get off this attack. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up. Obviously, it's going to be a Flame Charge. And I'm going to be able to get off this Dragon Claw. My opponent probably going to go ahead and have to shield this one up. Yep, they go ahead and shield that one up. And my opponent will go ahead and throw a Flame Charge. Now, the scary part here is Empoleon takes neutral damage. Plus, they're double boosted. So that is scary, right? But Incinerate takes a while to generate energy. So I'm going to be able to get to the attack after farming down that Talonflame and take this game. Good game to my opponent. So I only did one set with this team. I do want to try out this team some more, but great games. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.